Hello! Now, I know this isn't normally something that I do on this channel. It's been some time since I've played any Mechwarrior or really done anything Battletech. But I spent the better part of March and bits of April, some of February in Japan. I got to see the big Gundam before it closed down. I went to Diver City. I picked up some Gundam kits. Probably going to put them on this channel as well. And beyond that, I discovered a new hobby, which, well, I wouldn't say it's a new hobby. It's been around since the early 80s, and I've been really interested in it for a while, especially if you've played the Ryu game series. In the West, it's known as Yakuza, Like a Dragon. There was the Pocket Circuit, and it's based on Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive, and I picked this up recently, based on one of the original bodies. Now, it's a newer chassis called the Super 2 chassis, but I saw it, and it was a decent price, and the fact that it was here in the United States, I wanted to give it a go. So let's open her up. Satisfying slide out. Alright, we've got some interesting looking wheels already. And these treaded tires look really cool. Front tires, rear tires. Normally the tires that you see are flat rubber. Sometimes they're harder, sometimes they're softer. These feel pretty soft. But the fact that they're treaded is really cool. I think that's representation of the older style that it used to come with. So I think that's pretty neat. We're going to put them right there for now. The wheels, neat little 3 spokes that look pretty lightweight. And they're a neat gold color as well. I expected them to be taller, but these seem to be the normal, I think, 27mm size. There's our gear cover. Put that on top of the motor case that I have. Pinion gear, motor, actual gears. There's one wheel shaft. Alright, that's looking pretty cool. Maybe not cover up my extra piece case. As you can tell, I've collected quite a bit of parts since I've picked up this hobby. There's the base chassis. Move in a little bit there. I'm going to put you down there. Here's our body and our bits to add on to the chassis. And the Emperor stickers. Oh, it's like a metallic set. That's going to be pretty cool looking when that's on there. Ooh. As I just toss things around. So let's get this out of the way here. Get the box out. Get it nice and open. Let me see if I can take a look. At our instructions. Yes, I read instructions. So, does it want me to do the body first? Kind of looks like it. Oh, that's interesting. There's supposed to be stickers on those? Or it's supposed to be painted? TS26. What does that mean? Ah, that's the paint colors. Well, I guess I'm going to have to paint it at another day. That'll be interesting. I don't have any of the Tamiya paints as of right now. Let me turn this down a little bit. Don't want to continue peaking so much. I know I'm not very close to the microphone, but it's a condenser mic, so it should hear things pretty well. case. Alright, let's get these plastics open. Now, it's just a basic kit, and I'm probably going to run this as what's considered box stock, which is whatever's in the box is what's on the car, and no upgrade parts, because you can get more into tune. Like, this is a basic tune kit that I have, where it's got the flapper brake on it, the flapper damper brake, the bigger ball bearing spinners, the carbon front and rear stays on it, which is obviously better on the track, more stable, it's a little bit quicker with the upgraded motor. But box stock, all these kits come with motors and gears and rollers, as you can see. Here are your rollers and gearbox, rear stay. Super 2 chassis, that's really neat looking. It's kind of hard to see, but it's actually imprinted on there. There it is, Super 2. My first time dealing with this chassis. The most common chassis right now would be MA. That's what's newer. It's also easier to work with. It uses a 2-post motor versus a 1-post. But the single-post motors with the gearboxes are pretty neat. I'm just really excited to build something that's a bit nostalgic. I remember seeing the comics, the manga. Mini Yonku, let's go. Let's get poppin'. So you cut these out kind of like you would a Gundam kit, which I think is pretty neat. Like I did say, I do have a couple of Gundam kits that I picked up while I was over in Japan. Originally I was going to start streaming building those, but I didn't set aside the time for it and the space for it, and I've been a little hyper fixated on building these little mini 4-wheel drive cars. I found a couple places that have tracks around here in New Jersey, which is pretty cool. Didn't expect it to be as much of a larger following out here, but there's quite a scene for it. It's not a huge scene, but people know about it, and people have been doing it around here for some time. Kind of sad that I didn't pick up on it earlier. Alright, so clip in these guys out. Using my nice God hand clippers that I got. They're pretty good flush cutters. They weren't too expensive. They're about $15 US. And in times like these, having a good set of clippers is quite important. Yeah. The last set I had started to fold, so instead of meeting at the sides, they would kind of fold over each other. And it would still cut pretty nicely, especially more towards the back ends, towards the inner end, so I could still work with it, but it would leave little plastic nubs that weren't too great. Alright, so let's see. See where that pops on there. Well, it actually wants me to do stickers first before I start putting these on. That's interesting. Haven't done that yet. I'm also curious as to what this bit's for. Oh, that's if I just want... No, not that way. No, not that way either. What exactly are you for? Are you for the front? Do you replace... Oh, you do that. You go on to the very front. I see how that works. That's interesting. Well, let's come back to that. Stickers I usually do last, even though I know I just cut all of them off the frame. But I would much rather do the stickers at the end and have a rolling chassis first. Oh, it gets right into putting the gears in there, huh? Right. There's your front, there's your rear. There's the switch spots. It'll be neat having a grey base chassis with red parts on it. I'm excited to see how that comes out. Oh, interesting. I have 2 gear covers. Oh, that's the screw-in type over here. And then there's, I believe this is the quick connect. I heard there were issues back in the day with these where the gear cover that screws in would wear on the screw in the body, and then you wouldn't be able to screw it in anymore. And that's not good. You definitely want that to stay tight. Alright, so let's get this here and get this open. Bits for the motor. So this is what I mean about a single post motor. So it's only got the one post out of the front, doesn't have it out of the back. On a double post, you'll have the same length as the front coming out of the back, and then you'll have gears on each end, which is pretty neat. This one's not vented at all. See, I have other, here's a double post, and it's kind of hard to tell with the light, the difference there, but how it's got 2 different posts on it. But this one's actually vented, and I had another one, another stock. Oh no, it's in there, and it's. I could have swore that one was vented. Maybe not. Oh, put that back on that chassis for now. I got a couple of open projects as is. That's why I can just grab parts laying around. All right, there are contact bits for the batteries. I've actually got my better batteries charging right now. But Buckstock takes these alkaline power champs. And these are pretty good. I've got a few of those laying around. They're not full charge anymore. They've all seen some race time, but sometimes you don't want full charge, especially with a chassis like the Super 2 that's supposed to be very fast but a little unstable. Right. So we get the gears in the body. Light blue with yellow, so that's a 3.5 to 1 gear ratio. I have all the setting gears to do the different ones. Buckstock only allows you to do what's in it, but with these, I don't want to call them medium or small, but these stock sized, well actually the tires are pretty thick, so probably closer to medium. No, that would be a small. These are a medium. Yeah. But the tires are somehow smaller. Yep. So that would probably work pretty well with a 3.5. You want to go with the higher gear ratios for the larger tires due to the fact that it stresses out the motor a bit more. Now, obviously, the higher the gear ratio, the faster the acceleration, the lower the top speed. So with that, the taller the diameter of tire, we go in right there. Look at that, nice and smooth, falls right in. Now, they do give you this stock grease, but I have a guy at Sidebite. He makes his own oil, as well as in my little handy dandy kit, I've got this Tamiya fluoropolymer compound, which is basically just a little bit better of a grease with quite a bit more in it. Just a couple dabs in. We'll get that spinning a little later. Let's see. Right. Don't mind me and my old man noises. I did turn 31 this year, which is fantastic. So it's kind of fun to have a new little hobby to take up time with. Right. Yeah, I know how the tyres go on. Oh, that's interesting. It wants the eyelets on there. That's cool. Right. A1. Oop. As I knock over the oil. I would use that for the gears. I save it more for the motor and the rollers. So the rollers are, on this it'll be plastic instead of ball bearing, but these guys, they go on the front and the back. So the idea is you build the car, you turn it on with its 2 little AA batteries, which powers the motor. You drop it on the track, and it goes. Uh-oh. Oh, it landed on me. Great. There we go. Get these shoved in here. Now, I probably should have did these first before putting the gears in, but it's what happens. Nope, you don't like me right now. Little secret, when it gets stuck, you take the shaft, stick it through the hole. There we go. I like leaving a little bit of extra plastic on it so that it sits in a bit better. With my more tuned cars, I usually put bearings here so that it spins a little bit better. But like I said, I'm going buck stock with this one just because it's not going to be the fastest on the track. It's probably not going to win any of these events around here. But it's just a cool kit, you know? Takes you right back to the late 80s when the mini 4-wheel drive racing really started to kick off, as well as the get some movement in the gears there, spread around that grease. I wasn't around in the late 80s yet. I'm an early 90s kid, which, you know, it had a bit of a boom then too, but I was here in America. But it's still quite popular. I actually was walking around through Osaka near Denden town, and I saw a sign for a place that had mini onku, and I recognised that, which is this. And I walked in. I said I've always been interested, want to learn how to do it, and they were very nice about it. They were like, "Yeah, come on in. Here's." He had all kinds of stuff. He had different kits, different bodies and stuff. I mean, he also had like Gundam kits and Beyblades, and it was a wild little place. Great guy. The owner was a race car driver. The place is called Racing Bar 100R. And that's just how I ended up falling into the trap. bought my first car, then started buying a whole bunch of performance parts from him. Found a shop nearby during the day called Joshin Super Kids Rando. Super Kids Land is the rear tires, and they had so many parts and tracks and cars and kits and stuff I didn't think that they would have, like these wheels are for another one. They look kind of reminiscent of MA60 Supra wheels. The 4 spokes, it's kind of just that Toyota style, which I think is really neat. Also on this one, I picked up these wheels that kind of look like TE37s, TE27s. I can't remember, it's been a while since I was, I'm still in the whole sports car scene, but, you know, sometimes you get old, sometimes things get a little too expensive and you take a break. And you find new things to do in the interim, like this. You gotta admit, it's kind of cool looking. At least I think so. It's really fun to drop them on the track. I did get a little oval kit and used some cardboard, actually, to make some new turns and some new walls. And today I picked up a little ramp section that lifts up one of the 90-degree turnarounds on it, and creates a little bank turn. So it's pretty neat to put them together, put them on, and the fact that the base kits always come with motors, and you know, it's AA batteries, so they have all kinds of different special batteries, and there's a whole science between the different rechargeable nickel. What are they? Oh, I got them plugged in. I'll pull them out a little later. But you don't specifically need to get all that. You don't need to get the high power racing batteries going too. I mean, if you're competing, maybe. But you could just grab your bog standard CVS brand AA batteries and throw them in. And they'll get spinning. Oh, these treaded tires are really cool looking. Most of the other tires that I've gotten, whether they're super hards or I think I've got a set of super hards. Yeah, right behind me. There are what? There's 5 different grades of tires, I think. And they progressively go from harder to softer. Like the hardest ones feel like they're almost just plastic. The softest ones, the softest rubber ones are probably these. You know, they're nice and squishy. But then you even have sponge ones, which used to be very popular. Oh, the tires go on real easy. Oh, these actually have words on the outside, so we'll put the words on the outside ones. And obviously you know, just like real cars, the harder the compound, the faster it'll go, because it can slide a bit more. The softer the compound, the more grippy it is. But that can take a toll on your cornering, and since, you know, the wheels on these don't actually turn, as you can see, it's just a fixed front and rear axle. Ooh, that's a rear wheel. So you definitely want some slide. A lot of times the more in-depth guys will get harder tires for the front and just slightly softer for the rear. I am still a novice. I've only been doing these kinds of things. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I've only been doing this for about, what, a month and a couple of weeks. I picked this up towards the end of March. Wish I spent more time in Osaka than I did in Tokyo this trip around, but more time spent there than before. Yeah, look at that. It's neat that they have little treads on them. And they're directional treads. That's what I was about. Because, you know, there's been a few times in real life where I put someone's tyres on backwards. It's really easy to miss. Oh yeah, this kid actually wants you to put the eyelets on the wheel, or on the axle before you put them on the wheel. That is pretty neat. All these itty bitty bits. And I normally have a better set of pliers, but I've got these. Ooh, where'd it go? There we go. It helps me keep them separate. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 in a kit, so we'll see. Sometimes I give you a little extra, because I think they do it by weight. Other times, you have exactly the amount you need. Oi. Right. And that one's not taller. Yep. Good, good, good. Oi. In you go. That is quite interesting. None of the other kits that I've built with, mind you, I'm still quite new at this, but none of the other kits I've built with have had me put these little eyelets on the axles. I'm sure it makes sense. I'll do this side first. As you put the grease in there, actually I'll probably use the oil instead. That's much lower friction. As you can see, that's kind of how it goes. The motor will sit back here and spin it. Oh, the counter gear will sit up there. The motor will spin this, touching the yellow gear, which spins these. The pink gears attached to the pinion gear, and that's how it runs. Now the wheels are just press fit. It is nice that these kits are all just snapped together, is what they say. You don't really need much in the way of tools to get these together, which is very nice. That's this side, that's this side. Put that one there, put this one here. Squeeze them together, and look at that, we have a rolling chassis. A little bit of restriction there. Let me see about widening that. We'll get a little bit of oil in it. That should help lower the friction. I don't have to squeeze them so tight, but I've had wheels come off on the track a couple times so far. So I like to make sure that they stay that way. Alright. That is smooth. Oh. Maybe not when the pinion gear pops out. But yeah. There we go. Rolling chassis is situated. I'm still baffled at the fact that it's got treaded tyres on it. I haven't seen any other kit with that yet. Really excited to see how that performs. Alright, now for the motor tray. Motor carrier, I guess you would call it. We'll clip out A6 here. And that's all it wants me to do for that. Here are the battery contacts. Well, I could just call them contacts because they're what make the majority. This I know is for up here. Come on in. Oh, it's such a tight spot, this one. Am I doing this backwards? No. I am. It's the other way. So the AR chassis has it in the opposite direction. Whereas this one, it goes around that post. That's interesting. I could have just looked at the instructions. But I chose not to. Right, so you want me to take this bit, slip it in there, and where's the snap? There it is. Well, less of a snap and more of a itty bitty click. Use the pliers to press you in a bit more. No? No? There we go. There is the snap. So yeah, that's what they mean by snap fit. Get you back on there. Right. Oh, here's a fun bit. A good thing I have a pinion press, because this kit doesn't come with one. Or maybe it does, I'm just not seeing it. That's a really small body lunch. Ah, by the way. So, where do I put the motor? Oh, it's right in front of me. Alright, here's our little pinion gear. Now, realistically, you should mar up the metal there a little bit before putting the pinion gear on. That way it stays on it a little bit better. But, don't have my file, there's sandpaper in here. but they stick on stock, and we're doing buck stock, so it's not that big of a deal right now. Where do we get this guy? Sits in there, snaps on, cool. There's our motor carrier. It's going to go in sideways, like so. Push in, snap. Cool. We are locked in. That seems much more difficult to pull out than an AR chassis, but it's in there. Or do you get it from that side? Either way. So you can start to see how this is getting together. Right, counter gear. I think I have an extra. Wow, buckstock can't use the bearing, can I? Huh. You do not have a post. I guess I don't need it, do I? Not with that on it. So it sits there. That's quite a bit more janky than how the AR goes in. But we get to use a fancy easy lock. Better keep that in a box in case I get questioned. Because some of these events, they'll open it up and say, hey, that doesn't look factory. I say, no, I got 2 of them. That is pretty cool. This one feels a little heavier. Or maybe I'm trying to gauge it the wrong way. Yeah, it's a good enough bite on the first one. Right. You. I see. This goes in the hole there. Drops down like that. Now we've got a gearbox. As I knock over my oil. Oh, I just thought about that. I'm glad I said that. Here's the grease. Don't have any on this guy. Get a little guy going there. Boy oh boy oh. And you know what I'm forgetting? Before we get that on there, let's put a little bit of this in this guy. that worked in there. This pinion gear does not like me. Right. Coolio. Drop that back on. Set you back in for the third time. And we'll get that locked down. Now none of these holes are actually threaded, so while you would think that that's a pain, it's a pretty soft plastic. So the threads kind of make themselves and sit in a little better. I'd say the biggest pain is using the magnetic screwdriver that Tamiya gave me when I was there. Picks them up out of the hole too many times. Oh, right, come on then. There we go. Aha! It's got a little plastic tab. That's interesting. That way, yeah. I guess it does stay on pretty good without having to be too tight. Sweet. That's a nice mechanism instead of screwing it down and unscrewing it every time I want to change a gear. It's not as convenient as an AR or an FM where it kind of just unclips and pops out the back. Yeah, let's move on to the next bit. Yeah, I skipped ahead just a smidge to put on the battery and motor contacts. But I didn't get the power switch on yet. I'm going to clip that out next. Whee. Showing me from this angle to push it in this way. Yeah, neat. I see. Yep, we got that in there nice. Then I get to put that little cool Super 2 cover on it that I was showing off earlier. Just the attention to detail. Ooh, light's not really showing it off that well. There it is again. Oh, here I am putting it in backwards. I'm a bit of a king at that. Ah, I see. It's got a little hole in there for the power button. So yeah, that actually locks in. Now it's on. Now it's off. Now it's on. Now it's off. Cool. Yeah. Pushes in nicely. Oh. Alright. Next, A2, which is our rear stay. This is how we attach the rollers to the back of it. So I was actually kind of hoping that this was one that had the middle stay. It didn't have the rear stays because I haven't tried anything like that yet. But all in due time. So I missed the one in the middle. There we go. But rear stay is obviously more stable, and if I'm actually going to race this in a bike stock event, then that'd be pretty cool to have that rear stability. Slow it down just a little bit, because obviously the further away the rollers are, the more work it's going to put when going around a corner. So when you have the side stays instead, it shortens that roller base, which helps it speed along just that little bit more. But you do lose that stability that I was talking about. Right, A7, here's our rollers. Yeah, neat. Got little spokes on them, some fake spokes. It's kind of cool. Wants us to put those on first, huh? Right. That way. Well. See, this is perfect for where the oil is. Get the oil right in here. Get it to roll around a bit. Nice and viscous. Washer. Keep it from creating too much friction. And outside hole. Wait. What? It. On top. Yeah, that's the only downside about having to make your own threads, is that it's much harder to keep the screw in the hole at the beginning, but once it's in, it is in and good. I think I will do the oil later than immediately. Look at that. That is nice and smooth. Yeah, I think I'll do it after I get it started on the threads on this one. Oh, look at that. See, sometimes it just works. And those are the best times. Tight enough, not too tight. And there's our rear stay with our rollers. Huh, goes in that way. That's number 10. it wants us to put this little brace for the motor on first. Oop. Where do you go? Do you go there? Wasn't really a snap, but it's on. It says snap. There was no snap. I'm pretty sure that's where that's supposed to go. Tamiya, forgive me for getting that one wrong if I did. Oh, I certainly tried. Alright, 2x5s. Yay, my favourite screw. They have so many of these in the kits. And every time you buy a part, whether it's an upgrade part or a replacement part, you get like 5 of these. And these are what you have to use to make your own threads every time. Don't get me wrong, having an abundance of these is not a bad thing. Oop. There's the annoying bit. Where'd you go? Found you. Here's the nice thing about having the magnetized screwdriver. Is it can hold your screws for you. And the fact that they gave you this comes in the starter kits that you get. So a starter kit will be, I mean technically they're all starter kits, but when you see the mini 4-wheel drive, the mini Yonku starter kits, there's a power spec, a balance spec, and a speed spec. They're all different chassis. They come with one of the 3 tune spec motors, which I have. There's atomic tune and there's torque tune, so orange and black. The rev tune is in my Toyota over here, and they're just a decent bit better than stock, and they all have their quirks. Like torque tune has more torque, rev tune revs out to a higher RPM, and atomic tune's a happy medium between them. I generally go for torque tune. I don't know too many people that run revs. I mean, I ran a rev in my first and only race so far, and I did very poorly. It's just because it was in the car as it was. I was giving it a test. I wanted to run a different car. Didn't fit in they use a dimension checker to make sure that it's not too wide, it's not too long. I was about half a millimeter too wide, and everything I needed to do to make myself fit in the box, I did not have enough time to do. So I grabbed my backup car, and boy did I lose. But these things happen. Are you still screwing, or are you cross-threaded? Oh, well, stripped, I should say. It's probably stripped, but tight is tight. That's pretty neat. The red on the dark grey. I like that. Right, we're just gonna do the other rollers. Put the battery tray on, and then we'll get to the battery, or the body. Start doing the stickers. That'll be nice and exciting. Uh-oh. I think they shorted me. Yeah. So I have one extra eyelet, but I'm missing one of these collard screws that you need for... Oh no, it's right in front of me. Never mind. Here I am getting upset for no reason. I don't have... Yeah, there's at least 10 of those in this little kit. You just start collecting bits. Outer. Get a few turns in. And to be honest, I've been rewatching Great Teacher Onizuka, as I've been kind of messing around with these this past week. If you've never watched it, you should. It is a great classic anime about a guy who used to be the crazy strongest in a biker gang. He decides that he's going to go straight and become a school teacher. But it's not nearly as tame as The Way of the House Husband, which I also loved. Both are fantastic. Onizuka's quite a bit older, and the writer went back, and actually I'm not sure if he went back and made a series based on when they were teenagers and in the biker gang. All the same, if you want to go back for that kind of shonen style, you know, basically Tokyo Revengers before Tokyo Revengers, without the time traveling. Let's see how that goes. Right, let's get a few batteries in this and see how she sounds. Do you want to just like that, nice and thin? All right, so we get some Power Champ RX power on these. Ooh. That's a neat way to have a battery retainer. Huh. All right, there is our running chassis. That's quite loud. Sorry about that. Oh, but she runs pretty smoothly. Right. Let's start getting the body together. Is pieces there. That's going to be cool looking. Right. Here's the sticker description. And here are my stickers. See, unfortunately, I don't have paint. They want you to paint it. But that's okay. Right. What is 27? Ah, Tamiya one. That's neat. So each of these stickers has a number. Oh, let's see where number 1 goes. Ah, it goes all the way on the back. It's the taillights. Where are... I do have a better set of these, but right now we'll just have to bear. Oof! As I spasm and throw it on the ground. Well, on my desk. Ooh. Get in there. Alright. Here's one taillight. I don't think I've had any of the stickers that go on the back. This is my first set of taillight stickers I've done. Which is kind of neat. And considering that this is based on a kit from, I think, 1985. Could be wrong about that, but it was definitely 80s. Apparently, the source material... Oh man, do I need... X-Acto knife. Save me. Apparently, in the source material, this is the main character's dad's car. Which is kind of neat. Maybe missed the mark just a little bit. Can you slide just a little bit? Moi. 仕方ないで。21 goes there. At least that's got a nice little guide. I made that one real easy to put on. There's 2 of 17. There's these little grill bits. That was the wrong bit. That goes here. There's 2 of these that look the same, but they are much larger. That's okay, no harm, no foul. It's in the right spot now. Wait.
Nothing like tiny stickers to make you hyper focus and go silent, right? Oh, that's still pretty cool looking. Right. Get these on here. Number 14. Is the right side. Oh. Wee. Man. Just slightly off rotation. That's the only pain about these. They do not like going on the first time. There we go. That was number 14. Move over to number 15, which is the opposite side. Oh, would you look at that? That one went the first time. Guess I'm eating my hat on that one. I'm not going to complain about it. 20. Where are you, number 20? Right there, in the middle. Big square rectangle. Makes sense. Big wing bit. Oh, this big bit, this is Emperor. Squeezes right in on this. Now I've got them together. Ooh, that's cool looking. Back end of the car. There's the question, do I have any stickers to put on that? No. So, it's funny, all the bits that they want you to paint dark grey are underneath this. But I guess they kind of expect you to run it without them at some point. So that makes sense. And then they want you to paint these, which I don't have any paint for that. So that's not going to be that nice blue like it is on the box. Eventually. I'll get there eventually. A little bit of masking tape over top of everything. Actually, I do have my Battletech paints. That might work. There you go, there's the first Battletech thing. This video like the rest of my channel. There, it's no longer not related. I should paint my miniatures at some point. Oof. Let's see. I just noticed, is that picking up? Picking up all that fan noise? Oh, I feel bad about that. I didn't listen in to see how my yeah, that's picking up quite a bit. Oh well. I hope that sounds a little bit better, but as we go, I just try to talk over it. what am I on to next? I could do the windshield. Do I want to do the sides? Yeah, I want to do the sides of the windshield first. I always try to do the sides of it first and then overlap the top. Dang it. I always manage to mess it up. I never get these on the first try. But these stickers are a little forgiving when it comes to sticking to the ABS plastic. There we go. Sort of. A little overlap where I didn't want it to, but that's okay. It'll just look like B-pillars. It's supposed to look like one big wraparound window. Which is cool. Definitely that 80s vibe. How do I always manage to get it exactly right on the second try? But never the first. Ah well. On to the main windscreen. This should be easy-ish. Because you got this big gap in the middle. I say that as the last time I did one of these, I managed to screw it up somehow. Just like that. Don't tear. That's the nightmare bit when doing these stickers. If you get it off just slightly and you don't want it to be wrong, and then you go to peel it back up, and as you're peeling it, it just rips. That's the worst. It's the worst feeling. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Yeah, not a fan of how it folds over on the edges there, but from a distance, can't really tell. Looks like a windscreen, right? Oh yeah, you can tell. Camera. Wee. Well, what are you gonna do? Rightio. Let's get our sides going. Let's see, number 3 is this side. You've got this nice little hook there. That makes it much easier to line up. Very nice. I probably would have wanted to do the inlays first, but that's okay. Here we go. See, that side had the hoop, or the hook, to make it easier to line up because of the gearbox. This side doesn't have that. Yeah, it's just slightly different. That's okay. Excuse me. this was 5? Yes. Wait. There we go. Oh, it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. It'll look good as it spins by on the track. What? There we go. Something like that. That's kind of cool looking so far. All right. Oh, jeez. Man, this oil just loves to knock itself over. And it knocked over my extra screwdriver. Yeah, I got one of these spinny ones. It's quite nice, but it's not magnetic. I mean, it's more for working on electronics. So you don't want magnets in your electronics now, do you? Generally. Alright. You It's a shame you don't really have a good spot of reference from where I'm supposed to put you, do you? Nope. No, you do not. You can't just go on here somewhere. Like that. Yep. That's how you go. Ah, I see now. Nope. That's the actual sticker. Never mind. I thought I saw and I didn't. What are you gonna do? I can just match it up to this side then. Sort of. Wait. Oi. Oh, you son of a bitch. There we go. That lined up a little bit better than the other side. I think I'm just going to show people the left side of this thing. Look at that. That looks good on that side. Oof. Right. The other vent piece. I forgot about it. Because I did the first side early. Because I thought it was a different sticker. There we go. See, look, they put fake vents on fake cars just like they put them on real cars. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, what's the next? Okay. Of course I want the... But that goes on that. really need it on that? If this is going to cover it, I guess it does. Is that that? I might be looking at this wrong. Wait, what is this? 19. I don't see anywhere for a 19. Is that for a different body? Where the headlight stickers go on this thing? Oh, I see. That's funny. They are just sealed beam halogens. Should have expected that. Cool. They're a little tighter in than they should be, but that's okay. Right, where do 18 and 19 go? Doesn't show anywhere. Oh my gosh. Go for the front, and this doesn't show the front. That makes sense now. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna ban putting that on, because this is gonna go on this anyway. Come on in. Right. There's that bit. Oh, I'm forgetting to put these on here. Can't not put the namesake on it. Right. Put them on the wrong side, but that's okay. Hey, you know, maybe I didn't. No, yeah, I did. That's okay. Oops. No big. You get the idea. There's no sticker that goes in that gap. So yeah, nice. Great Emperor. Right there. Let's see here. Oh, that screws on. Sweet. finish putting the stickers on it first. If it will let me take it off the frame. There we go. Oh, yeah, a bit. Come on in. There you are. Sort of. Maybe. Oh. That wasn't nice. Let's peel up just a bit there. Come on. There we are. Wait, too much. You know, I did see one guy that got one of these retro kits. It was one of the Sabres and one of the Magnums. Something like that, and he panel lined it kind of like a Gundam. And I thought that was really cool. Sat there watching him do that at the bar while I worked on my basic kit. Tried to make it go a little bit faster like all the cool kids. Boy did I fail. But I got to write my name on the board, which was really cool. I have the only English name. On the leaderboard. That's just, you know, nothing to super be proud of, but I thought it was neat. Hot damn. That's pretty good looking. Right, now how it latches on is pretty simple. Usually. You kinda... Ooh. Hello? Maybe not. What are you making contact with? Are you making contact with something? Feels like it's making contact with something. It's just supposed to slide in there and then drop right down. You're touching something. What are you touching? Is it just that? What that? I mean, it's in. It's in and it's on. I'll just clip out the body catch right here. This one's very small compared to the rest of them. That just goes on the back. Twist and click. That is on. And for this, it's a little unusual, but it actually, oh, and it actually has slides. So when you screw it on, it doesn't have to permanently affix itself. And that's what these screws are for. That's neat. Alrighty. There's one started. Let's get the other one started. And then actually, since it's already started, I might switch to the other screwdriver because it is quite convenient for these kinds of things. No, it's funny, one side always goes in snug tight. Oh no, there we go. I was just about to say, every time I work on one of these, whenever I do something, one side always wants to stay tight and the other side always wants to be stripped. But you know, I don't know about that. Is it supposed to have that little gap? I guess it is. But alright. There is your over there. Great Emperor. What's the angle? Kind of like that. The fact that it's got treaded tires is still so cool to me. And with everything on, yeah, the stickers aren't perfect, but what are you going to do? Side grips neat. Ooh. Should probably turn the volume down. I don't suppose that's really going to work from there. Maybe you'll... How's that? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Definitely going to go run that around my track at some point. And it'll be neat to run it in an event as a buck stock. Let's see how it does. Rollers are pretty smooth. The fronts do have a good angle down, which is nice. That way it doesn't, as it rolls against the walls of the track, as it angles down, it'll keep pushing it down. So say it's a raised section, and it turns into a jump because it's going a little bit too fast. That will keep it from just flying straight up, or at least it'll help. The rear, so this is what I was talking about, the roller distance, the roller setting. So some of them have a mid stay in the middle that moves the rollers here, front and middle, and because that's a shorter distance, that can help it speed up a little bit. With these wider ones, even though it kind of slows it down, it's much more stable. So to compare, here's my TSO50 polycarbonate body. This is a wider base, but you see how this has the larger one, so it's on a further back hole. So it's just slightly longer base. So it's not too bad. Something like this, which has small rollers front and rear. It's also got a weird little body damper I did today. I'm excited to try that out. This is an AI platform. This is the Shadow Shark. Pretty cool. These are those super hard tyres. Oh, not super hard. These are the low friction. So these are way harder. These are basically plastic. There's a little bit of rubbery to them, but these are super low friction, so that helps with the cornering speed. But yeah, setting up, as you can see, if we put the front of the roller to the front of the roller, this has a shorter base. Now obviously the shorter you make that, helps with speed, but the wider it is, the more stability you run into. So kind of neat. Definitely cool. Yeah, that is a pretty cool kit. On the Super 2 chassis. I mean, it's got spots that I could put mid-stays on it if I ever want to upgrade it, but I don't think I will. It's a shelf piece and I can actually run. And those wheels are pretty cool too. Yeah, real simple kit. Didn't take too long. See, a lot of fun. Alright. We'll let you guys know what the next one is going to be. It's probably going to be one of the Gundam kits. I've got quite a few to go through. So yeah, I'll post up and see you guys next time.